Sometimes I feel like I spend more time scrolling through Netflix than I do actually watching anything on Netflix. And when I do finally stumble upon something I feel compelled to watch, more often than not, the quality of the production leaves something to be desired. What's worse, anything that's any good is cut short before it really has a chance to find its footing. More and more, I find myself spending time watching stuff on other streaming platforms, because Netflix has a content problem. Netflix first started producing original content in 2013 with House of Cards, and for the next several years struck a pretty successful balance between third-party content and their own originals. Shows like Stranger Things, Orange is the New Black, The Crown, Narcos, and Ozark all helped to establish Netflix as a producer of quality entertainment. Combine this with a sizable catalog of well-known third-party content and an affordable price, and Netflix had a good thing going. But then something changed. In 2019, Netflix reported losing domestic subscribers for the first time in 8 years, while at the same time spending over $11 billion on producing original content. While it makes sense that producing original shows and movies is central to the company's overall content strategy, year over year, Netflix has seen their expenditures growing at a rate almost twice that of their revenue. In 2012, Netflix was spending about $308 on content for every new subscriber gained, a figure which has increased to $580 per new subscriber by 2019. Netflix is spending more money on original content than ever, yet their subscriber growth continues to slow. Why is this? An important factor to consider here is the increased competition in the streaming space. For a while, it was thought that Netflix and its financial burdens might be taken on by another media company in the form of an acquisition, but instead, other media giants went to work creating their own content streaming platforms, which has led to the oversaturation of streaming services we see today. This increased competition also means that Netflix is losing the rights to some of their most popular third-party content. Roughly 40% of Netflix subscribers use the platform exclusively to watch third-party content, and the most popular of these, The Office, Friends, and Parks and Rec, have all since left Netflix for their own streaming platforms. This increase in competition, loss of third-party content, and a slowing of subscriber growth has left Netflix looking for new ways to increase revenue, and a new outlook on their original content. With 113 new original shows releasing in 2020, it seems that Netflix is willing to take risks and try out new ideas, which is great for creatives, but it also seems they're quick to discontinue shows before they really even have a chance to find their footing. Netflix doesn't share their internal viewership numbers, so one can only really guess what the company considers to be the standard of success. But of the 18 shows that Netflix canceled in 2020, 14 of them only had one season. I think this is a somewhat short-sighted approach to content creation if your goal is to maintain and grow a user base. After Schitt's Creek made history and swept the comedy category of the 2020 Emmy Awards, Dan Levy, co-creator and star of the show, tweeted out his gratitude towards the network for giving the show a chance and not canceling it early on for underperforming. There are countless stories of fans staging protests outside of Netflix headquarters or making Change.org petitions to try and save their favorite shows from cancellation. And even if these are just a small group of vocal fans, the company's unwillingness to commit to its TV shows is affecting its reputation. In addition to this, I feel, in my own humble opinion, that the TV shows they are committed to aren't really that great. The only big-name IPs Netflix has to offer is Stranger Things, which has consistently failed to recapture the magic of its first season, and The Witcher, which due to Netflix's binge model came and went without making much of an impact. Now, don't get me wrong, Netflix is still making great content. In fact, some of the best stuff I watched last year was produced by Netflix. But I think it's pretty telling that some of the most critically acclaimed content Netflix has produced in the last year has been a TV miniseries and a film, neither of which are at risk of cancellation. With many of the most popular Netflix originals having come to an end, Netflix has become overshadowed by what the competition has to offer. Amazon Prime Video has a solid collection of original content as well as a huge catalog of movies to rent. Disney Plus has found a ton of success with their originals like The Mandalorian and WandaVision, on top of everything else under the Disney umbrella. HBO Max comes with access to all of Warner Media's 2021 film releases the same day they're in theaters, in addition to some of the best and most exciting original content you can find, all for less than the price of a Netflix premium plan. Unless you're a big fan of Stranger Things or The Witcher, it's difficult to justify staying subscribed to Netflix when you consider what the competition has to offer. Netflix is by no means in dire financial straits, but they are losing market share in a competitive and ever-changing world of entertainment streaming, and it's the quality of their original content that's suffering for it.